Hi guys, welcome to day 36 of Project 365. Yeah! I've been getting asked a lot lately, via email or whatever, to put it into quotes, well, if you're atheist, what do you believe happens when we die? Well, that's actually a very easy question. When we die, we die. I mean, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but, despite what we like to believe, there is no evidence for an afterlife. If there is, well, hey, good for you guys. I really wouldn't care, simply because, I live this life to its fullest. Or, that's my intention. And often people think that, not believing that there's an afterlife is a bad thing. And I'm not sure why. I mean, it isn't as hopeful. But when you take the worldview of an atheist in the first place, you aren't looking for false hope. You're looking for anything that's as realistic as possible that can be, well, if you're a naturalist, that can be scientifically observed, tested, and repeated. But generally speaking, when you're an atheist, you have this stance on life that's a little more real than others. You prefer things to be supported by cold hard facts versus just some supercilious belief that you think would get you through the day. So essentially I feel that even though I feel that there's no afterlife, that doesn't take away any less meaning from my life now. I feel that it just pushes me to live this life to its fullest because I know there isn't one afterward. And when I say I know, I don't mean I know 100%, but I feel that there is no afterlife because based on the evidence provided and everything, there is no evidence that supports an afterlife. So, to those of you who are sort of asking why, or like, what causes this, I often feel that we as humans like to make ourselves seem much more special than we really are, so we create these ideas of an afterlife because we can't accept the fact that we are all mortal. We all die. That's all there is to say. I mean, we like to make ourselves feel special because since we've developed a consciousness of existence, we are more likely to sort of, we sort of want to make ourselves feel special because we realize that there is a clock over our heads, and as my philosophy teacher put it, we all have a lifelong hourglass above our heads, and we don't know when that last grain of sand is going to drop. So we'd like to make ourselves seem as though we're special because, hey, we don't want to die like everything else. But in reality, that's all it really is. And often that question leads to something else, another question, which is usually, well, since you don't believe there's anything, since you believe there's nothing when we die, doesn't that take away from the meaning of your life? And no, not really. If you feel that having an afterlife is everything that we derive meaning from, you're sadly mistaken. I feel that I often have more meaning to my life now than most Christians who believe in an afterlife because since I realize that this is a finite time in existence, that I'll often push myself to do things I normally probably wouldn't push myself, and I try and experience more, and I try and do so much more than what I think, than what I think the average Christian does, or Muslim, or whatever. So at times I feel like I have more meaning to my life, but just because I don't believe in a pearly gates vision of heaven, or 72 virgins waiting for me, or hey, who knows, maybe there's even a rainbow where there's a leprechaun there beating you in the head with a shillelagh. I mean, like, it's all up for beliefs. I mean, it's a faith. Now, I'm not saying that atheism is a faith in the sense that I have faith in the fact that there's nothing there. I just feel that there's nothing there. There's no scientific evidence to prove that there's something there. So why should I believe that there's something there? And if there is something there, great. But I'm not going to worry about it. Instead, I'm going to live my life now to my fullest, and I'll still have a meaning to it. It's just, essentially, the meaning to your life is the meaning you ascribe to it. Like, personally, I feel my meaning in life is to teach younger people about things, and because I feel the youth are a much-needed thing, and I feel that they need to be educated as much as possible, and I feel that I can help provide that for them. My second, the second meaning to my life is to help help acceptance come along into our society, because, well, no offense to those who believe in it, but the archaic religious views often lead to the discrimination of so many peoples that it's sickening, and so I'm going to work my hardest to get acceptance going within society, because I don't think it matters what gender, what sexuality, what race, what age, or anything that you are. I think that it matters as to what person is up here, that who the person is that's creating the thoughts, not what physical form they take. But again, that's just me. But yeah, I hope that answers those questions generally. If you have any other questions, feel free to comment. But again, this is just me rambling to a camera about specific things that I get asked from time to time, and I mean, those questions never seem to rear their lovely little heads, because it's such an easy question to answer, but people often don't sit down and think, because they have this stance that because I don't think the way they do, that therefore my life isn't worth as much as theirs, perhaps, or that because I don't think the way they do, that perhaps I don't feel that there's a meaning to life or anything like that, and that isn't true. Because, I mean, despite us creating these ideas to make us feel special, because, again, human beings are the only thing that realize their vitality, that they're mortal. They don't, there aren't dogs out there wondering, oh my god, what's gonna happen when I die? Like, that just has happened. They're more worried about, ooh, walk, ball, food. That is a very nice looking dog. Like, that type of thinking isn't what goes through a dog's head, so they don't consider it. But we as humans create these fairy tales to comfort ourselves. And I hope I don't offend many people by saying it's a fairy tale, but I often think that is the perfect description, because in terms of fairy tales, it does have a lot of qualities, but that's something I'll do in a later video. But generally speaking, yeah, so for those of you who didn't care to listen to my rambling, here's the too long didn't listen version. What happens when we die? Nothing. We just die. Electrical activity ends in the brain, the heart stops beating, we die, we're put in a hole in the ground, that is it, or burned to ashes, that is it. Does that take away meaning from life? No, because we ascribe our own meaning in the first place. Just because some people choose to live for the thereafter versus the now doesn't mean that those who don't live for a thereafter doesn't mean that those who don't live for a thereafter don't have a meaning in their life. They just have a, I feel, greater meaning in their life because they realize this is the only finite time they have. Question of the day. I don't know. Oh, I know. What general questions do you have for me, personally? It could be anything. I'm considering doing a question and answer thing, but, you know, with the almighty 8 subscribers I have, that'll definitely be fun because, you know, everyone asks me questions. If not, I'll just work on developing questions that I'm often asked in more of an intellectual manner. So, yeah, question of the day is, do you have any questions for me? So, that'll be it for today. Yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a great day.